Hi. It's been a long time since I made a video, so today I thought whatever's going on in my life right now, I'd make a small quick video about one type of client you should always avoid. Okay, so especially if you're a beginner, you're going to come from a place of not abundance. Everybody keeps talking about this bullshit, abundance, just feel the abundance, man. There's a lot of money to be made in the universe and all of that bullshit. And it kind of can be frustrated, because when I was there, I was always like, yeah, it's so easy to tell for you because you're fucking rich already, and everything seems even logical. I was thinking, once you're rich, it was easy to be rich, and it's very logical, except a lot of them are just your mindset blocks that are really preventing you from becoming rich. Actually, it's real, because many people who have already crossed the bridge can again start from zero and go back, and they can prove it to themselves. You can see this all the time. People or bloggers doing shit like this just to prove to themselves, have I really hit this kind of thing, right? Okay, so that's about abundance. Let's talk about that in another video. What I want to talk about today is one type of client you want to avoid at any circumstance, because somebody on Upwork forum said, don't discourage somebody who won a cheap job. Something is better than nothing. No, something is not better than nothing. First of all, stop believing in things like that. Something is better than nothing is not true. It might sound like it's true, but it's not true. Okay, if you're starving and you have no food, yes, something is better than nothing. All right, but same thing doesn't apply throughout the world for everything, right? I'll tell you how. Because sometimes if you don't get the right client, your entire worldview of freelancing and Upwork and everybody can become very negative, because that's your first approach. It's like your whole idea of what freelancing is and Upwork is going to be set on just this first client, right? Or a bunch of bad clients that you're going to attract. A lot of people are like really frustrated about the kind of clients they attract. They get angry because it seems like the clients don't value their work. They're like, for $50 can you make this and this, so they're like, what the fuck? Like they take it personal and they get really angry, and you shouldn't actually do it that way. Now the kind of coming back to the point of the video, the kind of client you want to avoid is the type of client who is not who doesn't have integrity. What do I mean by integrity? Like if they say something, they don't stick to it, right? And you shouldn't be that kind of a person either, right? All of us have integrity issues. I'm not going to make it black or white. Like for example, I'm still working on my timing issues. Sometimes I promise clients something on time and I'm not able to meet that, right? So later I have learned to either push myself to meet that time or give a flexible deadline. Like say, hey, what happened, or at least once that's happening, I go back and I explain them why it happened, and that's how I do it. So I still can live with myself because I feel like I have integrity. I don't deny it's an issue. So the kind of client I'm talking about is, so right now I'm working with a client who is pretty good. This client is not even somebody I don't know. It's actually a friend of mine. But the problem is the client wouldn't let me drive the project. Like for example, they would micromanage. They wouldn't listen to me on the strategy about what to do and what not to do. So I'm okay with clients like that, but except if you don't listen to me on strategy, you gotta explain me your strategy and based on what you're explaining, right? So if somebody asks me why I do X, Y, and Z on a website, I wouldn't say because I like it. I just don't, and you shouldn't either, right? You should probably learn the underlying principles so that you can explain to them better, because everything you're doing has to have some sort of scientific base in it. For design, a lot of it is scientific, even though people think art and design are the same thing, and design is just about aesthetics, like making it look good. And if somebody says, it's just about taste, you gotta have it in your blood. No, I don't believe in that. If you learn the basics of design theory, you can explain them. Okay, this is why something is like this is why something is like this. And whenever clients ask me to change something, I tell them, wait, why are you asking me to change that? I'd like to know. And then they'll explain me, because this has to stand out, this is not good enough, or this is too complex, my eyes can't focus. Then I'll approach the problem. But if they come and say, change this font to that, change this color to that, change this, I'll be like, okay, I'll do it, but I'd like to know your reasons. Because you gotta have mutual trust, right? I want to know why you're doing something, you want to know why I'm doing something as well. That's one mode of working. If, let's say, you don't want me to do any direction, then the client has to take responsibility for the direction. So basically I can go in and sit like a tool and say, change this, change that, do this, do that. I'll sit and do it. I'll have to get paid by the hour, and at the end of the day, if I do everything like he said or she said, the client has to take responsibility because they are the ones who are driving the project. And it is kind of, I learned that it's kind of my job to explicitly make it clear and not let the client steer this project through this. I kind of put brakes and put my foot down and say, no, I need to know what is the mode we are working, right? Because I explained that this is hard, I can't do this. But whereas there are clients like the one I'm working with right now who would come to me, say things, but they will never listen to anything I say, come back and do exactly the same thing I say. They say, change this, change that, change this. And I'll be like, why? And they don't take the time to explain. And that's very disrespectful because they basically don't respect your words. And when you ask questions, kind of what goes in their head is, according to me, because I'm paying you, just do it kind of thing. I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing. I'm responsible for the website or anything that I'm delivering you. So it's kind of like a partnership. You respect me, you get something from me, I get something from you, which is your money, right? It's an exchange, and nobody is better than the other, right? You're not better than me just because you're paying me money, right? This is a mindset you gotta drill in. I really have to thank my boss for drilling this mindset into me. It was really hard to understand in the beginning, right? He's not the best, but he's a wise man. I learned a lot of good things from him when I worked with him. So boss, if you're seeing this, you know who you are. But he really kind of drilled this in my head that you need them as much as they need you, right? And there's no other way around. And this has to be kind of everything. It translates to everything in your life, right? Everywhere you go, people need you as much as you need them, right? So sometimes you might think, no, that's not possible, right? And if you really think that, leave your comments below and tell me what are some scenarios where two people don't equally need each other. And I'll explain you why you're wrong, right? Because everywhere where there's a transaction, one person needs the other person as much as the other person. Even in charity, okay? Even in charity. Okay, that's a very strong statement I made, but let's investigate, right? You guys can leave in the comments and tell me some interesting things about what kind of clients do you encounter, what kind of bad clients did you have, and I'd love to help you out with how you can avoid clients like that in the future, right? And get the clients who would really be psyched to work with and be like, yes, every day. There are some clients I would just spring onto their calls and be like, I'm willing to work for you. Sometimes I go overboard, like I feel like I even don't charge them properly, and then I tell myself, oh fuck, don't do it for free, and they on the other hand feel like they are underpaying me. That's the beauty of when you work with somebody who you have a great chemistry with. I fortunately have a lot of clients like that, but that's not to say I don't get bad clients as well. But it's our responsibility to repel them or to guide them according to what we want rather than blaming them. And that's a good mindset to have, guys. Thank you. I hope this video was useful. Let me know in the comments below about your client bad experiences and if you're somebody who gave up on freelancing because you had a few bad clients and maybe you couldn't find clients. Whatever it is, let me know. Let me know your experiences. I'd love to interact. Thank you.